Hey, today I'm going to walk you through the before and after changes to the Eruptor. I've tested it against Chargers, Hulks, and the Impaler before and after the latest patch. I'll also touch on the next Joel episode, plus plenty of more things I'll be talking about. So if you find the video helpful at any point, consider hitting the like button, subscribe, with those beautiful notifications turned on if you haven't already. First off, you're already familiar with the changes we discussed yesterday, specifically how the developers tweaked the shrapnel. As it turns out, this had a pretty significant impact on the Eruptor. So, how severe was the nerf? Well, to put it mildly, it's not the same weapon it once was. Now, I'm going to showcase a few examples here, break down each clip, and share my overall thoughts on the situation. As I go through each clip, please pay attention to the top right corner to see which patch version is being shown. Let's start with the Chargers. Before the recent patch, you could hit a Charger's orange squishy backside with the Eruptor, and it would only take one shot to blow it up. As you can see in this clip, the Charger would eventually drop and die, but after the latest patch, things have changed. It now requires much more effort. In this next clip, you'll notice it takes 3 shots to the backside to bring it down. This is a clear example of how the Eruptor used to be effective against Chargers, whereas now you must put in significantly more work to finish one off. Next up, we have the Impalers. Previously, if you aimed just right, you could one-shot an Impaler. For this example though, I'll aim normally at its weak spot. Before the patch, I could land 2 shots and take down the Impaler without any issues. Now let's see how it plays out on the new patch. Aiming at the same exact spot here, it now takes 3 shots to the upper portion of the head to blow it up and bring the Impaler down. Honestly, this doesn't feel right at all. Just like the Chargers, the Impalers now require much more effort to defeat one. You might be wondering, what about the Hulks? Well, unfortunately, they also now require a lot more effort to take down. In this first example before the patch, it only took 2 shots to the head to destroy a Hulk. That was it. You didn't have to put in much work at all. But after the latest patch, good luck. You'll need to land at least 4 shots to the head instead of the 2 I showed earlier. Now this right here is quite disappointing to see how much worse the Eruptor has become post-patch. With that said, you can see the problem with the Eruptor. I'm sure there will be some Helldivers out there who don't mind the nerf, but on the flip side, there are players who have been using it a lot and were thrilled with how great it was before. So here's my take on the situation. The Eruptor has been through a roller coaster of changes over the past 3 months, or actually a few months. It went from good to bad, back to good, and now it's bad again. Those who are fans of this weapon are probably upset to see it take yet another step backwards, which is why I think it would have been better if they left it as it was. I get that there was an issue with it, but the developers could have at least bumped up the damage just a bit, enough to keep it effective against Chargers, Impalers, and Hulks, basically the larger enemies. Now, I have a feeling they'll tweak it again and make up for this, but let's consider the worst case scenario. What if they don't? If that happens, I'd suggest stashing the Eruptor in the armory and leaving it there, since it's not as useful as it once was. I'm not saying you shouldn't use it, but there are definitely better options out there. There are a lot of different options out there. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Eruptor overall. What do you think about the nerf? Let me know in the comments below. How do you feel about it? Let's move on and look at the latest known issue list. It was recently updated, and it seems the developers are fully aware of the Quasar cannon automatic charge glitch or bug that appeared after the recent update. If we head over to the Helldivers 2 support page, we can see the known issue list right here on the 3rd bulletin point. The support team stated, Quasar cannon can pre-charge when not equipped. For those who missed my last video, I explained how you can charge and fire the Quasar cannon, then sling it onto your back, where it automatically starts charging again once swapped out. When you see it's fully charged, just aim and shoot. You can rinse and repeat the process. This is exactly what the developers are addressing, and I'd recommend enjoying it while it lasts because it'll likely be patched soon. The last thing to note is on the 4th bulletin point, where the support team wrote, some armor and capes have material errors. causing their colors or decals to be altered or missing. On this channel, we've talked about 2 armors that had decal issues, such as the Hellbent armor. However, I didn't realize there's now a bug with the capes as well. That's interesting. Could you Helldivers let me know in the comments below which capes are currently bugged? I'd like to know which ones they are. We've got some galactic war news, and it's about the Automatons. They've launched an attack on Ustotu, and from the looks of it, by the time you watch this, we will have lost this planet. The unfortunate part is that it sets them up to push towards Malevelon Creek next. They're taking the quickest route possible, sneaking their way towards the creek. I've got a clip here that explains their path and what they're likely to do next. It seems they'll travel from Ustotu, I'm assuming that's how you say it, so don't correct me on it, to Vandalin, make a pit stop at Maya, and then finally arrive at Malevelon Creek. However, I have a feeling the next major order will center on the Automatons, but then they'll likely have claimed Vandalin, leaving us with this choice right here. Liberate either Maya or Mance, or take a gambit by liberating Vandalin instead. If my prediction is correct, we might be in for some trouble. After all, we all remember how the last few gambit opportunities turned out, so yeah. But we'll see how it plays out. I'll keep a close eye on it and update you all on what might happen next. Speaking of major orders, we've got the latest one in the bag, and we're succeeding. I don't think we're going to fail this one at all. On a different note, we might see a new Joel episode on the Arrowhead Game Studios YouTube page soon enough. A Helldiver recently asked, when can we expect another Joel episode? And the community manager Baskinator shared this response on the Helldivers 2 Discord. She wrote, "Our video team has had some other things that needed to be done first. For example, that amazing Borderline Justice trailer. We still have more episodes to come. I can't wait to see it when it drops. I've been having a blast watching these episodes, and I'd like to know more about the blue beam that popped up a couple of months ago during a random Joel video, and I'll show a screenshot right here. Maybe some of you may know the answer on that." Alrighty, we're gonna look at a prediction post for the next Warbond release date. A player named Malakor has predicted that a new Warbond will drop on April 30th next month. This prediction is based primarily on the pattern of previous major orders and how they released every 6 weeks or so. This Helldiver also tracked the number of items included in each Warbond. For instance, the first premium Warbond, Still Veterans, came with 25 items. Over time, the item count gradually decreased down to 24 items, then 22, with the lowest being Servants of Freedom, which offered just 17 rewards. What do you think about this? It seems like a consistent trend, right? The number of items keep dropping. Maybe it's easier for the developers to push out Warbonds with fewer items to maintain the schedule, drop in a Warbond every 6 weeks. That's just a guess, of course, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Does it even matter if a Warbond has more items or fewer? What's your take? So how about we discuss the crashing issues? There have been reports from Helldivers stating that they're still experiencing crashes after the recent update, possibly due to the latest patch and its impact on the processor. One player explained that no matter what they try, the game crashes when they spawn into a Terminid missions during the loading process. It seems this issue is tied to the processor following the latest patch. A Helldiver shared this image and wrote, "Since the last update, the game keeps crashing while the Hellpod is dropping. Before that, I could play in 4K no problem, thanks to my 3070. Just found out my processor doesn't support AVX2, so I'm screwed. Can't play my favorite game no more since the update. Hope the developers will fix it and bring back support for my CPU." Yeah, I've seen a few comments suggesting this is the main problem, noting that some players can run the game perfectly fine on bot missions, but when it comes down to the Terminids, it's something different. I have no clue what's going on. If you've been experiencing frequent crashes, is it because of your CPU or maybe it's something else? Please let me know. Last but not least, we have the top 3 comments. If you Helldivers would like to be featured on the channel, just comment down below. The first top comment comes from Sliver and Gold. You basically said that Arrowhead, or AH, is the pinnacle of a roller coaster developer, and how they release gas weapons with decent damage just to decrease the damage and add some confusion effects. Then you brought up how they removed it. You also mentioned the Gloom event, which has been sitting on the map for months. Nothing has happened. They released the Predator strain. We defeat the Predator strain in 2-ish days, and they also removed that as well. And then you brought up Incendiary Core and all that stuff, and yeah, it's confusing. And you also said, you know, not to get you wrong, and you love the game, but it's just kind of weird, the decisions. And you're not wrong. It's a little odd on the decision making, but you know, I think part of it is mainly because of the whole entire buff update, right? They had to buff a lot of things. The 60-day patch, I think that really just pushed them back a little bit, and maybe that's why. But for everything else, I don't have an answer on that. The second top comment comes from Chewy Tabs. The Quasar cannon had enough of the recoilless, so it ditched the charge. That made me laugh a lot when I first read it, so thank you for the comment. I honestly don't have anything to say about it, but besides, you know, it's an awesome comment. Last but not least, we have Verti, or Verti 7900. The code for this game must look like a nightmare. I don't know. I can't say anything. I'm not a coder, but hey. But I will say, you know, I've played Destiny 2, and that's some spaghetti code right there. But there you go. Those are the top 3 comments. I appreciate y'all stopping by. Thanks for watching the video and commenting and all that good stuff. Thank you all so much, and thank you to the members, and I'll see you all in the next video. Also, join the Discord down below. All right, see ya.